The pain of marrying the wrong person is worse than your present fear of not getting.
Hi besties, welcome back to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that hits close to home
This
for a
man
lot of
asked a
people.
question and a lot of people stitched his video. The question was the fear of getting married before 30 versus the pain of marrying the wrong person. So a lot of people stitched his video. Let's watch them and I'll be back to leave my own comment. Please stick around.
Married.
What he's saying is so good, and I am your 30-year-old something sister that's literally going to give you some big sister advice. Never, ever, ever make decisions from a place of lack. I don't have love yet. I don't have my dream job yet. I don't have whatever. If you continue to operate from a place of lack, you will always be unfulfilled because there's no perfect job and there's no perfect person. Because by nature, when humans are involved in anything, there is always human error, and no human was created to be perfect. And newsflash, I'm not perfect, you are not perfect. And so the point I'm trying to make is when you're feeling lack, it's essentially saying that there's a void in your heart. And the most important thing that I've learned in my 30s is that if I continue to make decisions because of a void, I will continue to be hurting my own heart. And so I've learned that if I find a way to fill the void by me, for me, signed by me, my life will unfold beautifully, more magically than I can ever imagine. And I'm literally reminding myself of this because lately I've definitely felt lack in my love life and other things. But I'm just here to tell you that if you're feeling void or feeling a lack in your life, a lack of love, a lack of money, a lack of whatever, you will make decisions that will hurt you in the long run. But if you pivot and think of ways, how can I make myself today feel extra love? How can I make myself feel extra abundant? Like, these are ways to operate and move forward in your life so you continue to attract the beautiful things of the universe. I know this was like a little woo-woo wee-wee, but what I'm essentially saying is don't settle and don't fucking sell yourself short because you are way more valuable than to live a life that is mediocre because you get one chance at this. Okay? Good night.
For the age of 30.
Something I wish I knew before I was engaged, and I will say with my whole chest, is that only unhappily married people will pressure you to get married before age 30, 35, 40, or whatever other arbitrary age. My fiance and I were together for over 10 years before getting engaged, but something that really blew my mind during this engagement that I had never experienced before is how much unsolicited relationship advice you can receive from people and how much insight you gain on their relationships based on that. And what I learned is that only unhappily married couples are out here giving advice. Happily married couples are doing their thing, minding their business, because they focused on finding a partner they wanted to build with as opposed to checking off the achievement of marriage.
Of not getting married.
There's a few more reasons not to rush the most important decision you will ever make, which is the decision of who you choose to partner with. For one, your youth is for exploration and discovery, finding out who you are and what you want your place to be in this world. And the things that you thought you wanted when you were in your early 20s are probably very different than the things that you want in your 30s and 40s and beyond. And so you grow and evolve, and you want to make sure that you can choose a partner who can grow and evolve with you and who is aligned with the things that matter most to you, not just the things that mattered when you were young. And if you do have a goal of long-term partnership, of marriage, of building a life with somebody, then think about how much time you have to spend with that person, the years, the decades that you're going to share together, compared to the relatively very short amount of time you have right here and now to focus on your relationship with yourself and building this foundation of your life and your core values and your preferences and desires through your own eyes rather than through the eyes of somebody else. Like, I know right now you feel lonely and it feels hard, but there very well might come a time in your future where you are happily in love and in a relationship and look back on this moment of your life and think, wow, I wish I had been more present for that. I wish I had taken more time to get to know me, to get to know who I am and what I want, because I know the love is coming. The love came, it happened, and I wish that I had been there for myself when it was just me and me. And lastly, and most importantly, there's a million more reasons, but this one matters. 30 is not old. Your life does not end after 30. If you have not met your person by 30 or by 40 or 50 for that matter, it doesn't mean that you're not going to find an incredibly beautiful love. The most important thing you can ever do, the biggest gift you can ever give yourself, is to trust the timing of your life. Trust that things are unfolding for you at exactly the pace that they're meant to. And the more that you show up for yourself, the more that you choose yourself, the more that you can trust that things are unfolding exactly as they're meant to. And this is coming from a recently 33-year-old holistic therapist and relationship coach who has also just so happened to embrace being single in my 30s and really loving this chapter of my life more than I ever could have imagined in my 20s. You have so much more time than you think, and if you need to be reminded of that regularly, in addition to just how inherently worthy and lovable you are, please stick around, because that is what I love to teach.
Getting married.
When you realize the importance of this life you're living and the magnitude of the purpose that you're meant to fulfill on this earth, marrying the wrong person becomes the most terrifying thing that you could ever do. I am 31 right now. I am single, and not for lack of men. You know, I think that's the other thing that we really need to talk about is the scarcity mindset around men being available. Men are not scarce. If my standards were in the core of the earth that low, I could be married by December, which is like 3 months away. But understanding that my life and the connection I make to someone is going to directly affect the trajectory of what I'm meant to do on this earth, I am so willing to wait. And this is just encouragement for everyone out there. Your life, what you're meant to do, can be bolstered or hindered by who you join forces with. And it is in your best interest, in my opinion, to be single at 31 like me, waiting for the perfect person to align with what you want, perfectly imperfect, of course, before people try to yell it at me in the comments. It's better to wait for that person than to jump into something because the clock is ticking and then 3-4 years from now be divorced, or 30-40 years from now have lived a mediocre life where you look at that person and you resent the air they breathe because they have stopped you from living the life you truly deserve. And this goes the other way as well. I don't want to be with someone who I don't see the value in what you're doing. I don't see the purpose. I'm not going to support you because my lackluster reactions to someone who I'm that close with will influence their ability to push in that thing. And if I don't care about it and I'm not trying and I'm not supporting you and I'm not encouraging you, you're going to slow down or you're going to be angry at me and I'm not going to be happy either. So take your time. I don't know what else to say. Take your time. Being single and fulfilled while you actively wait for the person who is meant for you is better than rushing into something to hit a checkbox of age, hating it, and then coming out of it, having to deal with the trauma of recovery from it, and then being by yourself anyway.
First, let's address the fear of getting married before 30. This fear often stems from societal expectation, family pressure, or that nagging feeling that you are falling behind. You see friends, co-workers, or even strangers on social media tying the knot, and it's easy to feel like you are missing out. But here is the truth. This fear is short-lived. It's tied to external timelines, not your personal happiness or readiness. And let's be clear, there is no rule that you must be married by 30. Life isn't a checklist and your value isn't defined by your relationship status. Now let's flip the script and talk about marrying the wrong person. This isn't a free to worry. It's a decision that can impact your life for years, even decades. Imagine spending your days with someone who doesn't truly understand you, doesn't share your dreams, always doesn't treat you with kindness and respect. The emotional toll of mismatched marriage can seep into every part of your life, your mental health and your confidence, and even your relationship with loved ones. It can lead to years of frustrations, regret, and in some cases, painful divorce. And let's not forget, divorce isn't just emotionally exhausting. It can also take a huge financial toll. This question from this man is a very good question. The fear of getting married before 30 is temporary. It's a moment in time. But the pain of marrying the wrong person, that can last a lifetime. The key is to prioritize quality over speed. It's far better to wait for a right person, someone who truly understands your values, goals, vision, and your future, than to rush into a marriage just to meet some societal deadline. So what can you do if you are feeling the pressure? First, take a step back and breathe. Remind yourself that your timeline is unique to you. Second, use this time to focus on yourself, your goals, your passion, and your emotional growth. The more you understand yourself, the better you'll be at recognizing the right person when you are becoming alone, when when they come along. And mostly important, don't let fear drive your decisions. When you are in 25, 30 or 40, the right person is waiting. To end our discussion, at the end of the day, marriage is above love, partnership and growth. Don't let fear of timeline steal your chance to find that. If this video is so interesting to you, please don't forget to like, share your thoughts, and also subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video and stay safe.